Hello everyone, welcome back to the English Danny channel. Today we're going to learn 3 ways to use the word last. Let's get started. The first way we can use the word last is as a time expression. This may be the most familiar form of this word to you, and something we hear very often in English. This word, last, contrasts with the words this and next. It means the previous one or the one before. For example, last week means the previous week. Last month means the previous month. It is January, so last month is December, right? The previous month, the one before. Normally, we use this time expression with past tense, without articles, and without prepositions. And we'll see a contrast to this in our second example. But first, let's look at some examples of this familiar time expression. Were you at the meeting last Wednesday? This means, were you at the meeting the previous Wednesday, the Wednesday before this one? What did you do last week? So what did you do the week before this one? What did you do in the previous week? I bought this guitar last year. It's 2021, so the previous year is 2020. So we could say I bought this guitar in 2020, or I bought this guitar last year, in the previous year. The next way we can use the word last is as the last. This is also a time expression, but it's a little different from just using the word last. The last week, the last month can mean the period of time until we are speaking or writing this phrase. So it's saying it's been happening for a period until now. These time expressions are normally used with perfect tenses, like have been, have had, and so on, and prepositions like the word for. So let's look at some examples so we can see and understand a little better how the last is different than just last. Let's take a look at some examples so we can see the difference here between last and the last. Example number 1. I've had a cold for the last week. So here we see this is one of our perfect tenses, I have had, and we're using the preposition for the last week. This means I have had a cold for the last 7 days. So from 1 week ago until now, for the last week, for this length of time until now. I've had a cold for the last week. Let's look at another similar example. We've lived here for the last 2 years. So here again, we have a perfect tense sentence. We have lived here for the last 2 years. And for the last 2 years means starting 2 years ago until now. We still live here today. We have lived here for the last 2 years, for the previous 2 years since 2 years ago. We've lived here for the last 2 years. Example number 3, she has been playing piano for the last decade. So here another time expression we can use, week, years, or even here decade, which means 10 years. So she has been playing the piano for the last 10 years. So starting 10 years ago until now. And she is still playing the piano today. She has been playing for the last decade. Let's look at one more example. The last few days have been really cold. So today and for the last few days, the weather has been cold. So it has been cold for a few days, and it is still cold now. The last few days have been really cold. It is important to note that when we're talking about days, we usually say the last few days or the last couple days, not the last days. That means something a little different. So make sure to clarify how many days. The last few days. Okay, let's take a look at our third and final way we'll look at today for how to use the word last. So far, we have seen last as it can be used in two different time expressions. Last, like last week, and the last, like for the last few days. Third, let's take a look at the word last in its verb form. Remember, a verb is an action. We can use last in its verb form to talk about the duration of something. Duration means how long it happens for. So how long something lasts is how long it happens for. Let's look at some examples so you can see the verb last in context. Example number 1, how long will the meeting last? This means how long is the meeting going to be? How much time? What is the duration of the meeting? And I might answer, the meeting will last for 1 hour. So how long will it be? How long will the meeting last? Let's look at it in a normal sentence. These batteries should last for 10 hours. This means I can use the batteries, or their duration of use is 10 hours. These should last for 10 hours. And here we see last as a verb, how long the duration it can be used is. Next, a similar sentence, we have enough food to last a month. This means I have enough food to use for the duration of 1 month. It will last for 1 month. And finally, a common way we use the verb last is talking about a movie. For example, the movie lasted about 2 hours. This means the movie was 2 hours long. The duration of the movie was 2 hours. All right, let's review the 3 ways we learned how to use last today. First, we learned last as a time expression, which means the previous one. I saw my friend last week. I saw my friend in the previous week. Next, we looked at the last. This means something that has happened for a period of time until now. I have been studying English for the last 5 years, right? From 5 years ago until now. And finally, we used last as a verb, which is the duration of something or how long something continues. The movie lasted for 3 hours. It was really long. Okay, everyone, that's it for our video today about 3 ways to use the word last. Please make sure to like and share this video and hit that subscribe button below for more English learning videos from our team of Real English teachers. See you next time.